Rule of Rose is a survival horror game developed by Punchline for the PlayStation 2 and released in Japan in 2006. It was infamous for its unsettling atmosphere, fairy tale storytelling, and surreal approach to childhood trauma. Rule of Rose was also roasted for its clunky combat, obscure mechanics, and the fact that playing it sometimes felt like steering a bus with one quiet kid inside. When European media outlets got their hands onto it, they called it disturbing, immoral, and in some cases, actual abuse simulator. Entire countries banned it. It tanked. Meanwhile, Atlas, the same publisher that would later strike gold with Persona 3, 4, and 5, quietly brought it to America. For some reason, thinking that would be a good idea, it tanked. And yet, this is one of the most fascinating PlayStation 2 games. Not because it's fun, it's quite literally rage-inducing, and the story is very disturbing, but the feeling you're left with right as the game ends is unlike anything else. And every video fails to mention this crucial detail and how the atmosphere of this game is built. This game perfectly translates the concept of a vivid memory onto you, but only at the very end. Welcome to Rule of Rose, a 10 out of 10 story with beautiful music and insane voice acting, disguised by the media as what would look like a 2 out of 10 game. But it is really weird though, just heads up. You play as Jennifer, who fails the vibe check and is stuck with a book from a random kid. This is where the story begins, with you reading a fairy tale. The first story is about a girl who loses everyone in an airship crash. As you follow the kid, you hear a dog barking, but we never find a dog. We only find a collar with the name Brown on it, but we still take it with us. As we head up the hill, we find a bunch of kids at an orphanage beating up a bag with someone inside it. It's at the orphanage the story begins. We hunt down the kid in this empty and somewhat secretive orphanage, but by the time we meet him, he tells us our best friend is getting buried in the inner yard. This is where we're introduced to the main villains.
Just look at you. You're filthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our flight. Attention all passengers. We will be taking off in a short while. Please take all large luggage to Section 8 of the freight storage compartment. Thank you.
We wake up in what looks like a boat, but it's no boat, it looks more like an airship. The airship is of a similar concept to that of Persona 5. A character has an emotional palace, and each room is a real room from real life. This case, the rundown orphanage. Why it's an airship is still a mystery to us, one we'll have to piece together. But listen to this insane atmosphere. It's at this airship we see the rankings of the Red Crayon Society. The gang of orphans run their own mafia-style hierarchy, and we are the bottom bitch, the filthy one. we are forced to give gifts or sacrifices to a greedy prince. The prince is the kid who gave us the book from the beginning. And the first mission he gives us is go find a butterfly. That's it. No context, no reward, just a butterfly. As we helplessly explore the ship, we find the same dog we heard earlier, tied up. It's Brown, our new champion. He is a sniff-powered missile, which is good because the map is seriously huge. Which meant that finding this blue butterfly had me running all over the ship. But Brown, being the MVP, has the sniff function or whatever. He can find shit. Right? The only issue is that this Amanda girl, don't forget her name, made it extra difficult. It's also here we're introduced to the first real enemies, a bunch of ghoul-looking kids. Listen, there might be some moral issues on what I'm about to do, but Jennifer and I had no problem making them crippled with a kitchen knife. It's when we deliver the butterfly the game gets weird. To be fair, all the cinematics are seriously well made, considering, the age of the game. Now, prepare yourself for this cinematic. Don't worry, they get weirder later.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aristocrat Club. Thank you all for gathering here today. You're a disgrace. Nothing worse than nothing. Your gift is worth nothing. Amanda. There. Amanda! 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 Amanda!
What the fuck are those sounds, Amanda? After what felt like auditory violation, Jennifer has to move up the corporate ladder to escape. We're tasked with catching a white rabbit named Sir Peter. Sir Peter is a major bitch that had me running around in circles to catch him, all while getting jumped by random kids. When we find Sir Peter, he is being beaten to death, thank God, and with that, we're led into the most painful boss fight I have ever experienced, the Principal. I made this video because the combat was hilariously evil. You may ask, why is the combat evil? 1. The more damage you take, the slower you walk, so you can't outrun him. 2. When you're hit, you're knocked down. By the time you stand up, you're knocked down. And 3rd, he's a full-on creep. This combat mechanic led to the most excruciating back and forth, where the moment I got hit more than twice, I basically lost. I had to dodge and weave like it was a Dark Souls game. But a Dark Souls game where they just didn't give me a dodge. After defeating the boss, we pick up what's left of Sir Peter. Now, delivering Sir Peter is probably the best thing to happen in this game. Our reward is straight up revenge on Amanda. Some may call this immoral. I say you get what you fucking deserve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome to the Aristocrat Club. I wish to thank you for gathering here today. Jennifer!
All right.
May I have
Can you
your
s-
attention? This is a message from the Princess of the Rose. The message reads, Jennifer, your efforts this month deserve special recognition. You managed to find Peter and will be amply rewarded. Thus concludes the message from the princess.
Splendid work, Jennifer. You are no longer a wretched peon. Amanda, on the other hand, has been demoted.
Fuck you, Amanda.
Amanda. It's time, Jennifer. Jennifer.
Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Jennifer. Do it, pussy. Do it, pussy. Ah.
Great, we've been promoted to slightly less garbage. Now the story splits into 3 arcs. Each one focuses on one of the 3 high-ranking ladies. The story of Ruler Rose from here on out becomes extremely dark and in some areas very recognizable of maybe your own experience with life. I'll start with the story I believe most of us can relate to, also definitely the least fucked up story of the game. The Bird Story, focusing on the cold Princess Eleanor. Every chapter starts with a creepy fairy tale, and this one is about the bird of happiness. Sounds cute, right? No, whoever wrote these books was a sadistic asshole. Jennifer has to find Eleanor's lost bird, and guided by Brown, he sniffs out 4 black boxes hidden around the airship. Each box contains a tedious errand you have to do. When you finally solve every puzzle and unlock every black box, all you're given is a silent, meaningless cutscene. Jennifer finds the bird, caged, lifeless, and broken.
It wasn't me, honest.
Oh, we're back in the house. What the fuck? From the airship.
Bonk. The Bird of Happiness is a joke. The chapter had no boss fight, but instead had you running around for clues all over the place. just like you do in real life to find any type of meaning in it. And your hope to achieve your wings just ends up being a huge silent disappointment. After this, we wake up by the altar and pick up the second book, The Mermaid Story. Diana, the strong-willed princess, is the main focus, but also this seemingly overlooked and forgotten character, Clara, the frightened princess. Her being overlooked, I believe, is by design. In fact, the story might be more about the two girls' relation to the principal. Get ready, this chapter is by far the darkest part of the game. This should have been the real reason the game got banned. The book tells a story about a mermaid who waits for her prince but dies waiting. On the outside, this just feels like every OnlyFans subscriber's life story, but their prince actually symbolizes the longing for someone to rescue them from their own world. As you follow Brown, collecting clues to find the next sacrifice, an unmarried mermaid, all you experience while exploring is this deep, empty loneliness. I believe the atmosphere here makes this entire chapter. It's during this lonely exploration we see some clues to what happened to the girls with the principal. I thought I was overthinking this scene at first, but when we get to the boss battle, we start to see how twisted the story is. We are now fighting one of the tankiest bosses I've ever been up against. Not only that, this boss basically has the same mechanics as the Ender Dragon. Vomiting on the floor, check. Flying up where you can't hit him, check. Insane pushback when you're hit, check. I think the boss fight from start to finish took me 15 minutes. But these fights don't just make you mentally unwell from the time and hitboxes and health, the symbolism makes it even worse. We suddenly see the trauma of Clara visualized on her body, the situation she was hiding away from the other kids. It's widely acknowledged in the community that the vomiting and self-harm is somewhat theorized to be about teen pregnancy. I believe that the vomiting is also her feeling disgusted about herself from doing certain chores. A chore I believe is made very clear later on when we see this scene. I personally believe Clara feels bound to do these things because if she doesn't do it, it might be Diana who has to do them. This becomes even more clear after we defeat Clara and we see how the principal treats Diana.
What in blazes? Just who did this? Who made this mess? Was it you? Go on, tell me. Answer me, Diana. No new mummy or daddy would ever want you if you don't like that. No, I won't be angry. Just answer me. It was you, wasn't it? You were in charge after all.
Yuck! How disgusting. Ugh. Oh, now I see. It was you. It was your fault that I got into trouble. Give it here. Oh my, I see a stain. I've got to clean it up, or Mr. Hoffman will be angry with me.
We're back at the altar, and the last story is left. The Goat Sisters. Meg, the intellectual of the bullies, gets her turn. This book chapter is about a sister who kills her older sister to prove her love, but ends up alone. Sounds like an average story for kids in the 1930s. This chapter is mostly spilling some tea about some love drama. Woo! Meg is secretly deeply in love with Diana. As Jennifer, we run around the ship searching for Meg's love letter for Diana. By the way, many people criticize Ruler Rose for its combat, but look at this insane loop I did on this goat kid. Little bro is gonna be stuck in a wheelchair. Alright, whatever. I ran through the entire ship searching for this letter. But as we progress towards the end of the chapter, we find out Diana did a major diva move and ripped Meg's love letter in half. The letter we've been searching for. In reality, Diana despises Meg, and she somehow makes it seem like we were responsible for ripping the letter apart. This slight blunder by Jennifer results in torture.
Her stomach is full of stone.
There you are. There you are.
Why do you have it? How could she? How could she do that to me? What did I ever do to her? I can't get along with girls like her.
It's into the onion bag for her.
The what? Resident Evil vibe for real with Amanda. Oh, this is so messed up. Fuck you, Amanda.
With the 3 stories cleared, the game shifts gears. A huge compliment to the writing. I never really knew what would happen next. I might also just be dumb. In the chapter Gingerbread House, the character Wendy, also known as the princess, enters the spotlight. It's here we start learning what actually happened to Jennifer and who the prince really is. We explore what I thought looked like Jennifer's childhood home, but piecing together memories, we find that this isn't. It's the home of a kid named Joshua and his father. Do you remember the little boy from the bus who gave us the fairy tale? Yeah, that's Joshua. He's no prince. He's a sickly boy, bedridden and cared for by his father. When we descend down the basement, we see the father getting a platinum rank in Russian roulette. Actually, he is broken. He's grieving, barely functioning in front of an empty bed. The father, for some reason, calls Jennifer for Joshua. In the beginning, I thought it was because the father always wanted a boy, so Jennifer was called Joshua. But when we get locked inside the basement, it becomes pretty clear that Jennifer was kidnapped, and she was made a replacement for Joshua, who had died from his sickness. It's in this prison where Jennifer got to know Wendy. Wendy, who, like the broken father, is just as fucked up in the head. Wendy talked with Jennifer through letters and made up a fantasy in her mind about Jennifer being a prince in distress. It's also in this locked room we find another article about an airship that went completely missing. It gets pretty obvious that Jennifer was the girl from the first fairy tale here. Her parents died in the crash and she survived. The chapter ends with Jennifer being freed with the help of Wendy and receiving the red talisman you see around her neck in exchange for her teddy bear. The talisman is Wendy's symbol, not of friendship, but of ownership, a symbolic grip around her throat. This is Jennifer's first major crack in her memories, and immediately after this, we find ourselves back in the fantasy of the airship. This chapter focuses on the character I dislike the most. I swear it's also peak crazy. The prince has now gone missing. In reality, it's Wendy's jealousy and fear of losing Jennifer. Our mission is to find the prince or the teddy bear who symbolizes Jennifer's trust, I believe. Now, panic has spread through the aristocrats. We're hunting for clues and wandering in circles. I am wandering in circles. And eventually, we see Joshua's father on the airship. He left a new fairy tale for Joshua, saying, I hope he likes the— Wait. You're the one who wrote all these tragic ass stories? Yeah, no wonder the kid died. Sorry. This fairy tale tells the story of Amanda, the tailor, the pig princess. We discover she crafted an ash gray dress and put it on a doll. Why? It's a sad, jealous imitation of Jennifer. The diary in her room also shows pages of fixation, hate, and inferiority. The game doesn't ask us to pity Amanda. It asks us to recognize how cruelty grows, not from confidence, but from humiliation and taking countless of L's. We also know that Amanda is the one who stole the teddy bear, or the prince, since a piece of the teddy bear is found in her room. The game wants us to hate this character, kinda just like how the other girls dislike her. Then suddenly the power fails. All lights go out. It's here where we meet the exaggerated version of Amanda's self-hatred, the pig enemies. I know, it's creative. This fella has an AoE attack that makes this game feel like a rage game. Like, hello? I had to fight through hordes of these piggies just to find the engine, become a mechanic, and fix the electricity, which then in turn allows us to search for Amanda upstairs. Now, get ready, because it's movie time.
What the fuck? It sounds so wild. Nah, Amanda.
I'm fine.
No, you're not fine. You're weird.
Upset at all. Oh, Jennifer. You know what? I've got something special. Look, isn't it cute? Here, it's yours. Give it as a gift and you'll be Miss Popular again.
What's wrong with her? She's beating me up. What the fuck?
Jennifer dies from cringe, and we've secured the bear. All we had to do was kill some piggies and do a little bit of cage fighting against some kids. You know, billionaires out there would pay great money for this type of entertainment. Well, movie time isn't over, because we need to see what happens when we deliver the bear.
Come here, Jennifer. Let's have a little talk. She's the one who stole it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aristocrat Club. A word from the princess. Jennifer has brought a wonderful gift to the Aristocrat Club.
Now you can have your very own red crayon. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. Hats off to you.
Whoa, 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 what's going on, dog? Okay, can you stop making the sound so... Oh, God. Whoa. Were they always just that?
No, please.
Everyone bring your brushes and dustpans and gather round. Do I make myself clear, Susan?
Playtime is over. We're back in reality. In fact, we're at the very beginning of the game when we were tied up in the airship. We're now getting the unfiltered memory of Jennifer. We see Diana doing chores, trying her best to be the perfect kid. Amanda secluding herself with sewing, Eleanor looking outside searching for freedom, and Clara suffering in silence from certain abuse. It all comes crashing down. But highlight of it all, I found a big fucking axe in the cellar.
That's so big dig!
We're gonna need this axe very soon, because there is one last sacrifice left.
Boys and girls, cleaning time is over. Waste paper should go in the rubbish bin, and washing should go into the filth room. Are the rooms all spick and span? Are the halls all sparkling clean? It's almost time for bed. Diana, Eleanor, Xavier, Meg, Susan, Nicola, Thomas, Clara, Olivia. Be thankful for this wonderful day, and let us pray for an even better day tomorrow. Get ready for bed, and may you have a good night's rest.
It didn't show Clara. This month's gift. Phil. Oh my.
We're ambushed by a bunch of ghost kids. Too bad for them, I have an axe. I was so busy making them all crippled that I didn't realize I was supposed to run around the orphanage. Running around, we see Wendy in the inner garden, the same place where we originally got buried in the start of the game. When we do go outside to this garden, surrounded by all the ghost kids, we're told by Wendy that there will be another aristocrat meeting tonight, and that it will be a most wonderful day. Since Wendy was our only real friend who invited us onto this orphanage, I assumed we would get some answers to why everyone hates us. At least I hoped. When we approach the coffin, we find a fairy tale named The Funeral, and it tells a story of an ultimatum. Either the girl in the book sacrifices herself to get buried, or she buries her best friend. When we lay down this story, the entire house is quiet, and Brown, our dog, is gone. As we go around the empty and silent house, we hear Brown whimpering upstairs. As we slowly go up there, finding fake dolls of him, we're met with the real sacrifice of this chapter. No, it's not Jennifer, it's Brown. Brown was the required sacrifice all this time.
Yes, Wendy.
Your friend is in the bag. It's too late now. My friend! Give me back my friend! Liar! Go away! Just go away! I'll never forgive you! Not ever! And as for the rest of you, how could you believe all those lies? Aristocrats! You're just the opposite. I hate you, and I hate you, and you! And I hate myself the very most for playing your stupid games and not having the strength to stand up to you! It's all just hideous!
Jennifer has now assumed control of the mafia. Beating Wendy up, we've become the mafioso, and all the girls are showing us proper respect. We run this house now. Big dog Jennifer's here. This happened because Wendy fled the orphanage after we beat her the fuck up. As we're assuming the next and reformed aristocrat club, one of the girls says that Wendy is back and is outside. All the girls get curious and decide to go outside to check up on her. But as Jennifer goes near the door, all she hears are the girls screaming in pain, screaming for help. The front door opens. And all we see is Joshua with his dad on a leash? The fuck? This starts a boss fight with the man who kidnapped Jennifer. Honestly, I became so good with the combat that this man had no chance. Somehow, Brown jumps in mid-battle. This is Jennifer's mental support to cope with the situation she's in right now. He is actually dead. When we defeat the fairy, or Joshua's father, we go outside to see all the clothes from the girls lying on the ground. This is a more passive or legal way to show the girls lying dead, massacred by the father. It's here we find out it was fucking Wendy who dressed up as Joshua and manipulated the mentally unstable father to go berserk on all the orphans as her revenge. In this moment, Wendy realizes how much she screwed up and decides to confess her love and jealousy, and begs Jennifer to end this madness she's brought upon them. Wendy gives Jennifer a gun, the gun that the father owns. Right after this, we see that Wendy, just like the other girls, gets killed. Now the only one alive is actually Jennifer. So what do? Either we shoot this man, or we give him the gun. If we shoot him, we get a bad ending, because Jennifer never really leaves her trauma. But if we choose to hand him the gun, the father, riddled with guilt all of a sudden, decides to put a stop to himself. This is the good ending that starts the closing act of the game. I'm gonna let you experience the atmosphere as I talk here. The music is just perfect for this segment. No matter where we go, all the other kids sound one room away. They're distant, it's like an old memory. But we see no one. What I love is that we can interact with almost everything in the orphanage. Each little object has a story, a memory. We get a better and closer look of all the kids and what happened to them. But we also find out, or we can get pieces of what actually happened with the principal, and Clara for that sake. Or we don't know what happened to her. All we know is that she disappeared. I spent like an hour with this alone, reading every small story, seeing the letters that the maid sent to the police about Wendy going to the father's house. when we walk outside, we find Wendy as the only other person in this lonely world. Get ready, the game has one last emotional torture left for us. As we leave the orphanage, leaving Wendy behind, we track back to the little shed from the very beginning of the game. We can still hear a dog from the shed. When we enter the shed, we find a small little Brown waiting for us diligently. This starts a cinematic that gave me that feeling of a vivid, distant memory. It's a sudden ending, and with that ending, I'll deliver that last emotional punch. As you know, we play Jennifer as an adult, but in reality, she's just a kid when all this happens. Just like how Brown is an adult when we play the game, but in reality, Brown was always this little puppy. Thank you so much for watching this. This was a huge work and a completely different video from what I do. I hope you like it. That's it. Goodbye.